All right. Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to our power lunch.
We are doing a power lunch half alive today.
It was a big weekend.
It was a big weekend,
It was a very tiring weekend.
but a good weekend. It was good,
Yes.
but we are definitely feeling the effects of the conference hangover today.
Yeah. Yeah. Late nights, early mornings.
Yeah.
But the conference was a success. Everybody had a lot of fun. So
What is the conference?
what is the conference? So this was a real estate conference ultimately, but I think it was a little bit more than just real estate.
Yeah.
There were a lot of vendors that came. There were a lot of really good speakers, and ultimately, it's just a chance for the community to come together. And actually, so because we're this community is across North America, and this is a good opportunity for everybody to come into one place and really spend the weekend together, learning, connecting.
So if you're trying to figure out what this community is and what this conference is, our sweaters tell it all. So
These are new. We got them at the conference. They had the WealthGenius store was there, so.
So most of you probably know by now we are members of the WealthGenius community, and twice a year there is a conference that is for the members. So it's called the Expand Conference. And yes, it's about real estate. Obviously, the core of WealthGenius is about investing in real estate, building wealth through real estate. The cool thing, though, I think about the Expand Conference is that they also bring elements of other ways of building your wealth. So it's not just real estate and real estate strategies. It's also different wealth generation strategies that you can integrate with your real estate journey and kind of accelerate that wealth generation. So it was a great weekend. Jeff and I, yes, we attended, but we also work the conference. So it ends up being extra busy. But it was good. It was amazing. It's always so cool to see the community, hear what everybody's up to, and just kind of reset a little bit. That's kind of what happens when you get together with all these people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
You get a bit of a reset, a reboot, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, you end up having like some eye-opening conversations, some new takeaways, some new energy to bring back into your own business.
Yeah.
So it's always good.
Yeah. So if you're joining us for the first time, my name is Dakota.
And I'm Jeff. Hello, hello. Welcome.
We are the founders of Opinacon Investments. That is our multifamily acquisition company. And we also have a property management company called Cozy Homes Canada. And we are working on building our wealth and helping everybody around us build wealth with us. So that's what we're about. And we do these every week on Tuesdays at typically around 12:30. Today, I know we were a little bit late, but
We're a little slow moving today.
Yeah, she's slow today. And
But if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get notified when we go live.
Yeah.
So if we are a little bit late, you'll know, and you'll be notified as soon as we do go live. But
Yeah.
yes, we tried our best to be 12:30 Eastern every Tuesday.
Yeah, and typically this one's going to be a little bit different because we're going to be talking a bit more about just some kind of random takeaways we have from the weekend. But typically we pick a topic, we discuss that topic. It's real estate related, wealth generation related, business related, you name it. We like things to be interactive. So if you're joining us, make sure you say hi, let us know you're here. And if you have anything you want to add to the conversation, if you have a point that's related to what we're talking about, an experience that's related, you want to share that. If you have questions, throw that into the chat and we can add it to a part of the discussion, because otherwise it's just us bantering about our topic.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on the YouTube chat and on the Facebook chat. So yeah. Drop a hello, a little reaction, share it with your friends if you think that they would benefit from this.
Yeah. And we weren't live on Facebook last week because we did a very special power lunch last week.
That's true.
So
that's very true.
It's not that we missed last week. We did a special power lunch. We did a webinar on our 24 unit. So if you missed it, you missed out. That's okay. You can send us a message, and I'm actually planning on sending out the recording today. So if you do want to watch it, if you are interested and you just weren't able to make it or able to register, you can send me a message and I can add you to that distribution list. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Otherwise, our topic for today is going to be a little bit shorter, but we are talking about some of the takeaways we had from this weekend. Unfortunately, we don't get to see all the speakers during the weekend because Jeff and I are working the whole weekend.
I get to meet all of the speakers, but I don't necessarily get to see their talks.
He gets to see all their talks in reverse because he's backstage.
Yeah, so because to put some context to that, it's rear projection on the big screens, and so from the back everything's in reverse, but on the front side of it you see everything forwards. So I couldn't read any of the slides. I tried and it was really difficult, but because everything's backwards.
Yeah, but despite that, we still
hear them.
Yeah, I still hear them, and even beyond kind of the speakers, you end up having conversations throughout the weekend that can be their own aha moment. So
that's right.
So some of the things that we took away from this weekend, I know one of the first things we were trying to sort of brainstorm on what did we take away from this weekend? One of them was, I'm pretty sure it was Kyle from Equiton. And I'm sorry if I'm misquoting this. Again, when you're working the weekend, everything ends up kind of jumbled together. So I'm pretty sure this was Kyle from Equiton that said this. But I thought it was really interesting because Jeff and I recently moved into an apartment building. And we sold our house. That's, if you want to, I think we talked about that. That's a whole other
conversation.
Yeah. Sold our house. It was a lifestyle decision that we made. So sold our home, moved into an apartment building. And our apartment building is very, amenity-wise, very condo-esque. We have a nice apartment, but then the building has a gym, it has common areas, it has workspaces, it has a dog run, it has like a
rooftop lounge area.
Yeah, a kitchen that you, like if you're going to have people over, you can like go and cook in this beautiful kitchen with this big space. So a lot of different common areas, and this has become, I think, more common amongst some of the, because I use the word common again.
Yes, the common areas are more common.
They are, but they are becoming. It's becoming more of the almost a necessity.
Yeah, it was something actually when we were looking at apartment options. It was something that we were looking for, and so I think that's pretty standard. That when a tenant is looking for a place to live, they're looking for what types of amenities does the building offer, right? Do they need to get a gym membership, or does the building offer a gym for them to use?
Yeah. So these amenities are becoming kind of commonplace, especially in these new builds, like these big, I don't want to call this isn't quite a skyscraper, but
high rise.
You
haven't even said what the quote is yet.
I know, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there. So this is becoming more common, and it was something Kyle said that kind of brought it all together that I thought was really interesting. It was like, I knew this, but it was almost the way he said it was like an aha moment. And he was talking about building these apartments with less square foot, but taking that square footage and putting it into common areas. And
like the units themselves have a smaller footprint, a smaller square footage.
And he realized that you can basically rent it for the same amount, especially because there's these amenities. So you have a smaller unit, but they have access to more amenities. And what he said was that tenants sleep in their units, but they live in their buildings. And I thought that was a really interesting concept because, like I said, we moved into a building exactly like that, and that's exactly what we were looking for. But just having something that tied it all together so nicely that made it make so much sense. It was a cool aha moment. I think a lot of millennials are kind of looking for that community within their buildings.
Yeah, and that was something that we looked for. Kind of, I guess, less like we didn't understand the concept of it, but when we were looking, we said, okay, the unit itself is a little bit smaller than some other ones that we were looking at, but it has the gym, it has the co-working space. With Dakota and I both working from home, we were concerned that would we be able to still both work in the apartment? But we don't necessarily have to, because there's the co-working space. There's Wi-Fi throughout all of these common areas. And so one of us can be in a meeting in the unit, in our office within the unit, and the other one can be working in the co-working space, which was very helpful.
Yeah. And this is something that, I mean, we haven't built massive buildings with common areas, but a lot of what we look for when we go to see buildings is the community feel. And that was something with our 24 unit. We felt that right away when we walked into the building. The tenants, they would get together, go for coffee. They
go for walks. They had art in the wall, in the hallways. They put their own art up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we thought that was such a cool touch to the building, and it makes tenants want to live there. If there's a cool community within the building, people will want to join that community. They'll want to bring their friends. If they're good tenants, they'll want to bring their good tenant friends to the building. So it's a concept that I think we were already playing with without having that, that quote to bring it all together. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. It was something that it wasn't necessarily new, but it was a nice kind of bow tie to bring it together. So yeah. What about you?
Talking about community within buildings, it's very important to have that community around you. And I think that was actually just overall one of the key takeaways. And we touched on this a little bit at the beginning about the conference that we were at, is it's a weekend where everybody comes together. So you end up building that community even stronger, because you have that, as Alfonso likes to say, belly to belly connection. You have that in-person connection. You're not always just connecting on Zoom. You actually connect face to face with the people that you could potentially be business partners with, or do deals with, or have a part of as a part of your power team. So it really gave people the ability to build that stronger community and build stronger relationships, whether it be for business or even just for fun. I think I may have found a new sub for our soccer team this weekend. Like, just anything, right? You're just building stronger relationships, and I think that was a key takeaway.
Yeah, I work a lot with the vendors for this conference, and I got to talk to a lot of the vendors throughout the weekend, just checking in, making sure they're having a good time, enjoying themselves, that it's been successful for them. And I got very similar feedback from a lot of people that it was their first time at the Expand Conference. And it was, conferences all look the same, right? The shell of a conference all looks the same.
You've got your stage, you've got your screens, you've got
your
the lights,
vendors, the
booths.
From pictures, it all looks the same, right? The shell of a conference looks the same. But their feedback was that the energy and the way that the people interact at the conference, it's kind of just how the community interacts in general. But obviously they were seeing it at the conference. So they said the way that the community interacts with each other, the way that they support each other, the way that energy was brought to the booth when they were coming to talk to the vendors, they just thought it was such a cool feeling and a cool thing to be a part of, because there is so much energy, there is so much collaboration, there's so much support. Yeah. And, I think we are very lucky to have found a community like that, and we've been a part of the community now for about 2.5 years, and I think we're very lucky to have found a community like this one and have been able to be a part of it for so long. I think of people who are just finding it now, and I'm like, man, you should have found it 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, where have you been?
But no, it was really cool feedback, and I think that's what that comes down to, is that like the community feel and having the right community, because it's one thing to be a part of a community, it's another to be a part of the right community.
Yeah, we were a part of communities before and never really felt like it was much of a community, right? And this one's just very different. Yeah. If all this talk about being in the community, if you want to join this community, reach out to us. We can hook you up. Yeah. And if you feel like you missed out over the weekend because all over your Facebook, all you saw was Expand Conference, then reach out to us.
Yeah. You also, sorry?
What else?
You mentioned like the community and meeting new people, and a part of it being for fun.
For fun.
And this was one of the last talks of the weekend. So if you were at Expand and you had to leave early, I'm sorry you missed this one.
Probably one of the best ones. At least what I really enjoyed it. I resonated really closely with it. I didn't watch them all, so maybe it's hard for, like, I probably actually came from backstage to watch probably 4 talks overall.
This was one of them.
And this one was one of them, and that was intentional. All the ones that I went in front and sat down and actually watched them was very intentional. I think I missed obviously the beginning and the end because I had to be backstage. I was helping the next speaker get ready to go on the stage. But
I think this goes back to the conference being not necessarily just about real estate and real estate strategies, because this really has nothing to do with real estate strategies. But it was a talk by one of our favorite people, Helene Quadra. And she talked about...
Shout out to Helene.
Yes, shout out to Helene. Thank you for bringing the fun, is what I'll say. Because she did a whole talk on making things fun and just having fun.
And how powerful fun can be. Because fun... She basically started it with what is fun and put a definition to it, but it doesn't really mean anything because fun truly is an emotion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You need to feel it. You need to be having fun in order for something to be fun.
Yeah, because if it's not fun, it becomes very like mundane, right? If you're just doing real estate, closing on some buildings, and you're not having fun with it, yeah, of course your first deal is going to be exciting because it's your first deal, it's all new, everything's exciting when it's new, but a lot of real estate and a lot of wealth generation is kind of doing that, like getting better at it and doing it over and over again and building a portfolio, and it's not going to be as naturally exciting the second or third time because you've done it before. So finding ways to make it fun and doing things that are fun within it, finding the fun within it, doing it with other people so that you can have fun, doing it with the right people so it is fun, because the wrong people can take the fun right out of it.
That's very true.
So
fun suckers.
Yeah, you don't want the fun suckers. So finding fun in every day and finding fun in what you're doing is so important, because that's like part of what life's about is having fun and enjoying. Yeah,
having the good positive emotions that go along with having fun, right? It makes something a lot more sustainable. If something's really boring, mundane, it's almost not sustainable. You can do it for a long time, but you're not going to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, then something else is going to tickle your fancy. Something else is going to draw your attention away from that, because it's just you're not having fun doing this, but you're having fun doing that. Yeah. You're going to do that.
Yeah. Because I also say a lot, like, real estate shouldn't be too exciting, right? Like, obviously, like I said, your first deal is going to be exciting. When you're learning new things, it's going to be exciting. When you're pushing yourself, it's going to be a little bit exciting. But realistically, like, if things get too exciting, you're putting a lot of emotion into the deal, and that can be dangerous. So real estate itself, shouldn't be,
especially buy and hold real estate, it should be very boring.
Yeah, it should be pretty, like, the actual deal itself, the holding component of it, it shouldn't be too exciting. So if it's too exciting, there's too much happening, and there shouldn't be that much happening. So instead of making it exciting, making it fun.
Yeah.
And you have to find ways to do that and work with the right people that make it fun.
Yeah.
And if you're able to do that and find the right people, you'll get a lot further as well.
Absolutely.
And you'll enjoy doing it.
Yeah. So that was a good perspective. I really enjoyed that talk because it really brought to light what the power of having fun really can do.
Yeah. And
for health benefits as well.
Yes, exactly. I know there was a stat about, what was it?
It releases dopamine, which makes you more positive.
It was the Brazil one. The Brazil quote. It was like, people over 60. There was a study done in Brazil that people over the age of 60 go to parties.
Partied every weekend lived longer.
Yeah, like just had fun, like just found a way to like, yeah, party. I don't know what the definition of party means. I don't know.
The picture was some old people in like escapade type clothing. So it looked like real party, but anyways.
I don't know if you necessarily need to be doing.
I think they just, as long as you're having fun, that's the point.
Yeah, getting together with friends, probably just doing something that you all enjoy.
Laughing and just having
dancing. Dancing's always fun. So yeah, and again, it's one of those talks that has nothing to do with real estate and everything to do with real estate. So that's one of the things I love about that conference is it brings in these different elements, these different thoughts that you can bring to your real estate business.
That's a nice segue into the conversation, because that right there, what you said, everything to do with real estate and nothing to do with real estate, is a Mandy Brenham quote. And I think the very last thing I think that we want to talk about really came from a conversation with Mandy.
It totally did, and that's a really funny like segue into that, because I forgot that's something that she says all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was a conversation with her that, again, we weren't on stage, we were just sitting in the audience, kind of between talks, having a conversation, and we were talking about the idea of putting on your own oxygen mask. And I think this is actually really applicable. I was thinking about it after. It's really applicable to someone who's in business, but also someone who is in like a corporate job as well, like
100%.
in a job.
Yep.
And the concept is, to not wait for things to happen, to do things to make them happen for you.
Yeah.
And I think
basically take control of your own life and your own future.
Yeah, because there's so many people that, and again, I relate this back to the good old like corporate ladder, job. There's people that will work their butts off, kind of waiting and hoping that they'll be recognized to get a promotion.
Yeah, or to get that pay raise.
Yeah. So they're like doing these things and hoping they get recognized and hoping that they can get, some sort of an upgrade in some way, whether it's money or title. And they're just waiting for somebody else to give that to them, basically.
There's so many people that don't understand that all you really have to do is go to your, like I'm talking corporate, go to your boss and say, what do I need to do to get X?
Yeah.
To get the promotion, to get a raise. What steps do I need to take? And now you've started the steps for a true plan.
Yeah. And again, it's tough in the corporate world because you still, I think either way, you have to rely a little bit on somebody else if that's that's a specific scenario. But yeah, taking the reins a little bit more and having a bit more control over what it is that you want. And if you are, if you're an entrepreneur and, it's a little bit easier to take those reins, but you like have to take the reins as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. You really can't be waiting on anybody else because there's nobody else that's going to be giving you a promotion as an entrepreneur. You have to make that happen.
Yeah. And if you find yourself waiting for something to happen, maybe take a different perspective on it and ask yourself, why am I waiting for this specific person or this event to happen? What can I do to take control?
Yeah. Am I waiting to be like brought on board in some way, or can I make my own board? Do I have to wait to be brought onto theirs? Can I do it on my own and make my own destiny?
Yeah.
And I just thought that was it was a cool conversation. Again, it was like a side conversation that we had, just, talking about different things, and that's what ended up coming up. And again, that comes back to being a part of the right community with the right people, because these really interesting conversations come out, especially when you're belly to belly with somebody and, able to connect with them in person, because cool conversations come out. Were we talking about a real estate deal? No. Were we talking about putting in offers? No. But was it a really powerful conversation? Of course, because it is really important, and it's a really important reminder, especially if you feel like you are kind of stuck waiting for something. Are you sitting there waiting for a deal to come across your desk? Are you sitting there waiting for partners to come and find you? Are you sitting there waiting for whatever else in your business? Obviously, these are very real estate specific examples.
But that's our business. So
yeah. So instead of,
are you waiting for the right tenant to come in, or are you marketing to the right tenant?
Yeah. Are you out there looking for the right tenant? Are you out there looking for connections with realtors? Are you out there looking for potential like building owners who could be potential sellers? There's things that you can do to take back the power. You don't have to be waiting for somebody to bring you a potential deal to underwrite. So, it's easy to get passive in that way. Get active and, take the reins. Yeah, take the reins back of your business and create basically your own destiny was what it came down to.
Take control of your life.
Yep.
Cool. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sure there was more. We were talking.
Lots of takeaways, but I think that was kind of the main points that we at least had discussed before coming into this. I don't know if there's anything more spontaneous. Yeah.
No, that's what came out of our brains this morning. Honestly, there's not much coming out of our brains today other than that.
Yeah, today is a day of rest, and I think this week I'm hoping can be a little bit more unpacking.
Yeah.
Because we're still
we have some deals we have to underwrite.
We do have some deals that we need to underwrite.
And some very exciting potential deals. So
yeah.
We can't
Stay
take a full break.
That.
No full breaks, partial breaks. There's some deals that we were sent in the last week or so that we want to take a closer look at. So definitely stay tuned for that. So that was our weekend. It was a ton of fun. It wore us out, clearly. If you have any questions or anything about what we talked about, obviously reach out. We'd love to have a conversation. If you'd like to know more about what we do, our deals, how to get involved, we have some stuff that we're working on right now. It all starts with a discovery call. So let's get on a call, let's chat, let's see how we could potentially work together. And otherwise, we do this every week, our power lunch, 12:30 Eastern on Tuesdays. So we change up the topic every week. Make sure you are joining us next week.
Yeah. See you later.